Hi there, everyone, and welcome to Paper Wishes weekly webisodes. I'm Sarah Newman, and I'm really looking forward to showing you this fantastic Build-A-Scene card kit from our friends at Crafter's Companion. Now, this is a collection that I absolutely love because inside this kit, you have everything you need to make 20 complete cards, all with a fun and modern design style. So inside here, you have 320 pieces, including 20 printed die-cut sheets of art in 5 different scenes. We'll take a look at those. Then you have 20 white pre-scored card blanks. These measure 6 inches by 4 inches, perfectly sized to go along with the elements in the kit. And you've got 20 matching white envelopes. Now, in addition, I'm going to move these out of the way just so that you can see. You've also got a sheet of instructions, so they will step you through the process of building your cards. Now, it's all about building a scene, which means that everything very conveniently comes on one sheet. So let's take a look at these different sheets. If you are new to card making, if you don't have a lot of time, if you just want to grab and go and create a really polished looking handmade card, this is for you. So as you can see here with the gardening scene, you've got your background element here. This you can just glue right down onto the front of that blank white card. And then you can add your various other elements here. Now everything is die cut, so it pops out really easily. It's a nice sturdy cardstock too, so it's a good quality that you're working with. So this is a really fun, probably one of my favorite designs here, really fun and easy way to create a special card. Then we've got our welcome home or welcome to our house. And again, you can see how this is die cut so that you can actually pop open that door. So you've got something for the front of your card here with this front door. Then you can add in the inside if you want to. So tuck something right in there and create your scene. So then we've also got a patisserie here, another favorite for me. All of your various elements here, your little sign and your messages that go along. There's the Fashion Queen closet. Again, this will open so that you can have something that goes on the inside of that closet or wardrobe. And then finally, we've got the dressing table. Now, what you can do here and with any of these elements, you can just grab your glue or your double-sided tape and secure those elements down. You can also add elements with foam tape, which is one thing I really like to do. So I've got my foam tape on hand when I'm working with this card kit. But of course, since this card kit gives you gorgeous cards in minutes, you can also use your completed card designs as a foundation for adding other embellishments like ribbons or dazzles. And of course, I'm going to do a little bit of that too. So today I have a couple of projects and some demos to share with you, and I can't wait to get started. I'm really glad you're here. Come play with us. Let's start with this fun card, which is a perfect example of how easily the components all come together. So this is the sheet that I'm working with. These are all of the elements that I'm going to need. Now this is our background here, and then all of these other embellishments on here can be added to complete the scene. They can also, of course, be added on the inside of the card. So you've got some choice in there. But I thought we could take a look at how easy it is to build a card with this card kit. Okay, so I'm going to move aside my original card here. And you can see here that all of the elements just pop right out. They're all die cut. It's nice, thick, sturdy cardstock, so it's a really nice quality material to work with. After you punch out all of your elements, then you can go ahead and start assembling your card. So here's my background. I'm going to take one of the blank white cards that come in the kit and then just fold up that card. Really helps to have a bone folder on hand just to create a nice, smooth, crisp line there. And then I've got my card front ready to go. Now, this piece will fit right exactly in the front of the card there. So there won't be an edge around the outside. What I like to do is use a glue stick to secure this down. And I'll put my glue stick on all 4 sides of my card front. I always like to get the glue, especially in the corners, because that's what gets handled the most. And then I'm going to take my piece and just position this on here. Now, when I'm working with exact pieces, so pieces that measure exactly the same size, I like to use a glue stick rather than double-sided tape because if anything is slightly off, you can kind of scooch it around a little bit before that glue stick dries. So then there we go. I've got the front of my card covered and I can create the rest of my scene. So now I've got all of these other elements here that I've already punched out, and I can start adding these in. So what I've done is combined some elements that I just simply glued down onto the front of the card and others that I used some foam tape. So I'm going to take this fun plant here and put a little bit of glue on there and then pop this down here. And I think I'm going to also grab, let's use this one. And again, just a little bit of glue on here. You can also use your double-sided tape for these if you want to. That also works. I'm going to position this here. So then I've got my two plants kind of sitting on the shelf or on the bench here. I'm going to add my busy gardening sign, and I want that to go right on the top of the door. So again, just a little bit of glue will do the trick. Position this down. And then, oh, I want my wheelbarrow on here. Now the wheelbarrow I wanted to have popped up with a little bit more dimension, so I added some pieces of foam tape on the back. I'll take the liners off. And we'll position this down here like so. So I'm overlapping this other piece here. And then I've got some butterflies that I want to have in place. So once again, I've got those up on some foam tape. Let's put this little guy here. And then another one. Let's do this one up here. So he can flutter that way. So you can use as many of the embellishments as you want. You can also then, of course, add some more elements on the inside, which is what I did for my original card. And I've got my, as you can see, my butterflies, wheelbarrow, and then on the inside I've got the happy retirement, and then I've got another butterfly and two other plants here as well. So there you have it, a quick and fun card with lots of color, style, and dimension. Now, of course, you can add more elements on here. You could add some ribbon, you could add some flat back pearls or other gemstones. But I think with the elements that we've got here, you can stop right here and have a really fantastic card. Now, the other thing you can do is combine some of those elements with other pieces that you may have in your crafting stash. And that's what I've done here. I wanted to show you this option. So I took the die cuts and I wanted to combine them with a different pattern. And so I'm using here some of the Meadow Blooms papers. Now this is from hot off the press, so this is separate. And I just thought all of these colors would be really fun in combination with the die cuts from this kit or from this particular sheet. So here I'm using the 3 plant die cuts from the sheet, and I'm using them in combination with some oval cutting dies. And then my pattern paper on the background. I've got some 1/8 inch wide ribbon and just added this here, and the message is from the Meadow Blooms pack as well. And then for my card inside, I have a script dazzle and another plant die cut. And then this cardstock is from the Meadow Blooms cardstock pack. So you can definitely get some different looks. Here are 2 very different looks that you can get utilizing the same sheet from this kit. Now, of course, because you've got multiple sheets, you can do both of these options. So lots and lots of different possibilities for you there. Okay, so another card that I want to show you, let me grab this one here. There are 2 sheets in this collection that have opening doors, like this home theme design. So you are able to create a card front with a door that actually opens. So I thought we should take a look at how to do this. So again, let me show you the sheet that I'm working with. So this is the Welcome Home. Again, here is your background, and you'll pop that out. And of course, this is die cut as well. So this is the front of your card. This is what you can put on the inside of your door. So that will show through to create your scene. Then you've got some lights, again, more plants, sweet little kitty on here, and a welcome mat. So let's take a look at how to do this. Now, what I recommend you do is before you start gluing anything down is to score up this line here along the fold. And what I found to be easier is to flip this over, and then I'm going to grab my bone folder here, and a ruler will also really come in handy. I'm looking around for my ruler. There we go. And then you can kind of see where the top and the bottom line is here so that you can do your scoring. So let's see, I'm going to kind of figure out where that is. Position everything flat down, and then just use the bone folder to score that line. And then you can kind of fold this up so that you are able to open that door more easily. Because this is a nice sturdy cardstock, you want to be able to score that so that it can open nicely and easily. Now, another thing that I did is I added this front piece onto the front of my card with some foam tape because I wanted to have a bit of depth between the scene inside the door and the door itself. So again, flip this over, and I've grabbed some foam tape strips and just position these down here. So I've got that one going there. I've trimmed down another piece to be narrower, to sit in this narrow gap. And one here. I'm going to do another piece here because this is a little bit wider. And then I've got this other length to go as well. So once I've got all of those pieces on there, that's going to give me a bit more depth and dimension. So again, just grab one of the card blanks. And there's the fold, and I've got my card front here. And then what I'm going to do is position this carefully, because unlike using a glue stick, that foam tape is not going to give me much flexibility. So once I put this down, it is going to be down. I find it works a little bit more easily if you can stand when you do this, but I'm going to have to be sitting while I film this, so wish me luck. Okay, get the liner off of here. And I'm not going to remove this liner because I've already got things that are going to be stuck down on here pretty nicely, so I don't need to do that. Okay. Position this down. All right, I think I've had a lot of practice, so I was able to do that pretty nicely. So there we go. So I've got the front of my card done, and my door opens. Now what I can do is take this inside piece, punch this out, and then simply glue it right inside. And what I'm going to do here is take advantage of my glue stick and the flexibility that this gives me. And I'll position this here. And then I can kind of scoot things around a little bit if I need to. If I put that down and it's not exactly perfect, I do have a little bit of wiggle room. So then I've got this here, and I can decorate around it. So I can decorate the outside of the house and on the inside. So what I've done here is I put the planter and the light up on foam tape, and those are just directly on the front of the card. I also have the layered wreath. So this is one piece, and then there's a wreath glued flat down on the door. You glue the handle of the door on here as well. Then when you open this, you've got the welcome mat and our friendly little kitty who's greeting you at the door. So again, very simple and very fun way to decorate the front of an interactive card. Then for my card inside, I've got some more of that cardstock from the Meadow Bloom set. I have a pink script dazzle on here, and I've added this plant and then also this sentiment. This is from the sheet itself. And with the dazzles, these are really nice. I've been using them throughout today's video because I just think they work in so beautifully. And this is a nice, fun pink color, which coordinates with a lot of the other elements in the kit. Here's a card using the other sheet with doors that can open. So in this case, it's a really fun closet design. So again, what you'll do is punch out this background piece, take your bone folder and a ruler and score back those doors, and then you will have doors that can open and close. And then of course you can simply add that to the front of your card. Again, I've used this with some foam tape on here so that I have a bit more depth and dimension. Glue in your inside piece and then add your embellishments as you wish. So in this case, I've used some foam tape to put the purse and the shoes and the hat down on the card front. Then on the inside, I've simply glued down these two dress images. The Fashion Queen is popped up on foam tape as well. And then I also thought I would add a little bit of texture with some ribbon on here. So again, this is the 1/8 inch ribbon pack. And I really love these ribbons because they're narrow, they're lightweight, they add a fun pop of color to your card and some texture and some dimension, but without a whole lot of bulk, which is great, especially if you are mailing your cards. And then on the inside here, I've got another one of the die cuts and also a script dazzle. So I wanted to talk just a second about the script dazzles. If you've watched any of my other webisodes, you know that I use these quite a lot. In fact, I think I need to top up my stash of these because it feels like I use them for just about every card. I love them because the script is classic and elegant. It's a visually interesting font that is also readable. And you get lots of other extra elements like little flowers and little hearts that you can use too. So just a little tip, when I get my dazzles, when I get my box of dazzles from hot off the press, usually the first thing I do when I get through, going through all of them and, petting them a little bit, is I will peel off the liners or peel off the backing of the sticker from these. And this means that I can get a better sense of what I have on the sheet. So I'll just start this at the corner and pull it all the way off. And then I will have a sheet that looks like this. So all white. It's easier for me to see the script on here, and it's also easier if I pull one of the dazzles off and then I decide to swap it for another sentiment, I can put it back down more easily. It's just a lot more easy than to try and fit it exactly back into the same place. So that's my little dazzle tip. If you are a dazzle fan like I am, you may have some in your stash already. So again, another quick look at our Fashion Queen card. And then we can move on to another one. This is also using one of my favorite sheets from the kit. It's the patisserie scene. Who doesn't like some beautiful and delicious looking baked goods? So you've got your background piece here, and then you've got all of your various cakes, eclairs, and cupcakes. Now, when I was working with this, I thought I would kind of grow the card a little bit. So this is the standard 4x6 card blank that you get in the kit. And this is hot off the presses 5x6.5 inch blank white cards. So you can see the size difference on here. And what I wanted to do is kind of grow out the scene so that I could have my sign kind of overlapping here. So I decided to use this card blank instead. So what I did here is simply upsized it with a larger card blank. I covered the front of the card with cardstock from the Meadow Blooms pack, and then I added this scene on top. And this gave me the space to add the cafe sign kind of overlapping here. So I glued the cakes and the eclairs right onto the shelves, and then I used foam tape for the cupcakes. The bunting is glued straight down and the awning is up on foam tape. Now I've also added in some flowers here. So these two little handmade paper flowers. These are florets from 49 and Market. Let me show you that pack. They come in lots of different colors. I love these too. I'm using the punch color. And you can see you've got lots of different elements in here. I just use my Cosmic Shimmer glue to glue those in place. And then again, I've got my little ribbon on here, and this creates a nice bit of texture. Then for the card inside, I've got some of this nice cardstock here, matches perfectly. Of course, some more Dazzle sentiments and a die cut. Now, if you find you have some extras from this sheet, they go beautifully with pattern paper. And again, I'm using the Meadow Blooms 6x6 paper pack. And so in this case, I used that 4x6 inch blank card from the kit, covered it with some of the pattern paper, and then I added the cake die cut from the kit. This element here is also from the 6x6 paper pack. And then I've got some of that ribbon just kind of swirled back here, again, to add a little bit of texture on here. And the message is from the kit as well. And then for my card inside, I've got some more of that pattern paper plus a die cut and another dazzle. Our final card is creating a scene with the dressing table sheet. So here I opted to use an oval cutting die to create a window in my card front and then to add the elements on the inside. So a quick peek at our die cut sheet here. You can see a lot of these elements here that I've used. I did not use the background piece, so I've got that on hand for a future card. So instead, I first covered my card front with cardstock from the Meadow Blooms cardstock pack, and then die cut an oval for the inside front here. So let me show you what this looks like partway through. So here I've covered the front of my 4x6 inch card with some green cardstock, and then I took my oval cutting die, simply positioned this here, secured it down with a little bit of low tack tape. Make sure that card is open when it goes through the die cutting machine, and then I will have a piece that looks like this. Now I can leave the oval just as it is. I can also add a scalloped frame on here, and to do this, you'll combine the same oval cutting die with the scalloped die that is just slightly larger. So you'll put the two of these together, again, run it through your die cutting machine, and then you will have a piece that looks like this, which you can then simply glue onto the front of your card to create a scalloped frame. So that's how I've done the front of my card. And then to decorate around here, I've added the shoes and the purse up with some foam tape. Of course, there's my little ribbon embellishment. On the inside, I have my dressing table. The stool is popped up on some foam tape, and then I've got the other elements simply glued right down. As you can see, I couldn't resist. I have a little Hello Dazzle, and that fits right on there as well. And you won't see it when the card is closed, but it does make a really nice message when you open this up. And this is our final card project of the day today. So a big thank you to our friends at Crafters Companion for these fantastic supplies. It's been a lot of fun to work with these and really fun to see all of the different looks you can get from this kit, whether you're doing the kit as it comes or if you're adding in some of your other supplies that you may have on hand. A big thank you to you for joining me today. We're so glad that you're here, and we're just really happy that you're a part of the Paper Wishes family. Do feel free to leave a comment. We love to hear what you think. Each item can be purchased separately, and you can see them below. However, we've also bundled them into a creative money saver just for you. For the money saver, see this webisode on paperwishes.com. And if you're watching us on YouTube, have a look in the description box below this video. You'll find a link that will take you to our Paper Wishes webisodes page, and you can see everything I just mentioned. And if you enjoyed our video today, we really appreciate a thumbs up. It does help people to find our channel. And don't forget to subscribe. We create 3 to 5 videos each week, so there's always something fun to inspire your creative spirit.